Welcome back to Lost Media Detective, where we dig deep into the forgotten, the controversial, and the mysterious moments in media history. Today, we're diving into one of the most iconic TV shows of all time, The Simpsons, but not just any episodes. We're talking about the lost, banned, and controversial episodes of The Simpsons that have been erased from public view for one reason or another. Some of these episodes were pulled from airwaves due to world events, others due to scandals, but they all share one thing in common. They're hidden gems of the Simpsons universe. So, let's explore the stories behind these never-before-seen episodes. Let's start with one of the most infamous, Lisa Goes to Washington. This episode originally aired in 1990 and featured Lisa Simpson winning an essay contest that would take her to Washington, D.C. to meet the president. However, the episode took a sharp political turn when Lisa finds out that the U.S. government has been covering up a corrupt company polluting a river, a storyline that was considered highly political for its time. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The episode was pulled from syndication in the weeks following the September 11th attacks. While no one officially confirmed that the attacks had anything to do with the removal, many believe that the political nature of the episode, combined with its focus on a corrupt government, made it too sensitive for airing during such a national tragedy. To this day, Lisa Goes to Washington is one of the few Simpsons episodes that remains largely inaccessible to many fans, unless you happen to have a copy of the original airing or track it down through unofficial means. Another infamous Simpsons episode is Stark Raving Dad, the one that featured none other than Michael Jackson as a guest star. Originally aired in 1991, Stark Raving Dad follows Homer Simpson being sent to a mental institution where he meets a man who believes he's Michael Jackson. The episode was hugely popular at the time and remains one of the most beloved in the series. But following Jackson's scandal in the early 2000s, the episode was pulled from syndication after his death. While Jackson's involvement was considered harmless at the time, the association became problematic after the singer's controversial legacy. The episode, which had once been a staple of The Simpsons reruns, was quietly erased from public viewing. But what makes this particular episode unique in the world of lost media is that Stark Raving Dad was never officially released on the home video, making it even harder for fans to find. Next up, we have the Lost Simpsons episode, The City of New York vs. Homer Simpson. This episode, which originally aired in 1997, was another casualty of the aftermath of 9/11. The plot centered around the Simpson family traveling to New York City to retrieve Homer's car, which had been parked illegally near the World Trade Center. The episode's opening sequence featured shots of the Twin Towers, and after the September 11th attacks, it was pulled from the airwaves for several years. While the City of New York vs. Homer Simpson was eventually reinstated into the syndication rotation, its initial removal made it one of the most controversial episodes in Simpsons history. The re-editing and removal of content in the aftermath of 9/11 would become a recurring trend for various TV shows. But it's fascinating to consider how quickly such moments can become lost history in the wake of major world events. But it's not just global tragedies that have led to lost episodes. Sometimes shows like The Simpsons pull episodes simply due to internal decisions. One example is Burns' Cage, a Simpsons spin-off pilot that was never aired. This pilot, which centered around Mr. Burns, was created as part of an attempt to expand the Simpsons universe into new shows. Despite its potential, it was ultimately shelved, and no full episodes were ever released. We don't have much information about why Burns' Cage was canceled, but it was likely a combination of lackluster test results and the immense pressure to keep The Simpsons focused on the core family. Though some elements of Burns' Cage can be found in various scripts and production sketches, the full pilot episode remains a mystery, and it's likely one that will never be fully recovered. And then, there's the Simpsons episode that never aired, the Super Bowl special. This special was meant to be aired during the Super Bowl halftime show in the early 2000s, and it was planned as a collaboration with major Super Bowl sponsors. However, after a series of creative disagreements between the Simpsons team and the network, the special was canceled at the last minute. Despite being planned for years, fans never got to see it, and little remains in terms of footage. With so many iconic episodes left in the vault, it's incredible to think about how much of the Simpsons universe remains hidden for